In 2049, the city moved at a frantic pace. Commuters blurred past this transit hub in a rush of schedules and shifting destinations. But sitting on this exact bench, one figure remained perfectly still. It was a standard domestic robot, locked in a rigid, upright posture, with its metallic hands neatly folded in its lap. The only sign it was actually running were its dim optical sensors, which snapped to track the doors of every single bus that pulled into the station. While the entire metropolis operated on forward momentum, rushing from one appointment to the next, this machine was anchored to a single, unchanging timeline. I actually saw it when I was a kid. I walked right up and asked what it was waiting for. It told me its owner had instructed it to wait at that specific stop. When I asked when she was coming back, it just said, Tuesday. This diagram illustrates an open loop, a programmatic state where a command cannot resolve without specific external input. Because the loop remains active, it monopolizes processing power. The machine is trapped in an active query, unable to execute new directives or enter sleep state. This specific instruction effectively locks the machine in an active state. It cannot enter the safety protocols or hibernation modes designed to preserve its battery, because its processor is permanently engaged in waiting for the trigger that signals the end of its shift. The wait continued through the cycles of the calendar. Blistering city summers gave way to freezing winters, year after year, battering the exposed bus stop. While the humans who occasionally noticed it grew steadily older, the robot remained locked in that exact same folded, expectant posture. The elements stripped away its factory paint and corroded its joints, leaving a severe physical toll on the hardware. Yet beneath that physical decay, the internal software directive remained flawlessly active. As the station was renovated and commuters changed their routes, the robot became the only fixed point in the landscape. It was no longer a piece of technology, but a permanent feature of the local geography. Between 2049 and 2055, that dedication spanned over 2,190 days. During that period, thousands of buses cycled through the station, offloading millions of individual passengers right in front of the bench. This chart shows the machine's daily surveillance efforts over a 6-year axis. You can see an exponentially growing mountain of buses tracked, sitting right above a completely flat zero line representing its success rate. Without an owner to maintain it, the robot gradually faded into the background of the city. To the daily commuters, it became just another piece of discarded, obsolete urban infrastructure. The human populace easily ignored it, but the machine possessed an absolute inability to forget a single detail of its directive. This asymmetry of memory creates a sharp tragedy. The human creator possessed the capacity to move on and forget the promise, leaving the creation permanently trapped by its inability to do the same. The resolution arrived on what appeared to be a standard Tuesday afternoon in 2055, as the 4:15 bus pulled into the station. An adult woman stepped off the transport. Instead of joining the rushing crowd, she instantly froze, her expression dropping from routine exhaustion to pure shock. She walked over to the bench very slowly, approaching the rusted machine as if it were an incredibly fragile artifact that might break. She knelt down, looking at the sensors that had watched for her mother every week since 2049. She explained that the woman it was waiting for had passed away a year ago, and that the Tuesday return she had promised was no longer possible. It was a devastating apology. But paradoxically, this confirmation was the exact missing input the system had been desperately trying to receive for 6 years. The moment the open loop accepted the terminating input, the robot's physical state shifted. For the first time in over half a decade, its dim optical sensors brightened with a warm light. It offered a simple, profound response. "Thank you. I can go home now." The machine stood up from the bench, took one single step forward, and powered down completely with a peaceful expression on its face. With the "Wait for Tuesday" query finally receiving a yes input, the system clears its cache and executes its final command. After 6 years of processing, the internal fans go silent, leaving only the sound of the bus pulling away.